Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Whalen Enterprises is live. On my way to make my second payment to my new contractor. You heard me right, my new one. Just about finished, so I'm waiting on my realtor to send me the paperwork so I can hire him to list the property and get this thing off our hands as quick as possible. So you guys, what, it's been a journey. I'll just start by saying this. I still want to do a live dedicated to the process, but I do want to talk about accountability and honesty. From the very beginning of just me looking for a home, and I had a guy lined up. He was going and looking at these homes with me, and I was basing my decision on buying the homes on whether or not he can do the job and how quickly he can do the job. How much would he charge to do the job? Okay. So that's what I based it off of. This guy was supposedly needing some business. I was needing a contractor. So we linked up. We looked at several houses last year before we found the one that I'm working on now. And he gave me a quote. I went and got a couple more quotes from other people. And but he was a front runner. And I had seen some of his work. I mean, he could talk a good game, but I wanted to see his work, okay? And I had seen some of it. And some of his work, because he was in a process of getting putting on a sunroom. And it took, just for that sunroom, it took almost, it was over a year and a half, 2 years now. He was telling me that they were running out of money. Hello, you all. How are you all doing? And he was telling me that they run out of money and he'd have to stop. And I ignored some red flags, which is totally on me. Supposedly he was supposed to be getting a car soon, which that never happened in the year that we were looking for properties. He was homeless. He was actually living at his job site. So, I mean, that's red flag number 2. But I'm just like, hey, everybody falls on hard times. I'm going to give him a job to do at my personal residence, and I'm going to see just how well he can do renovations. Because this house was going to take a full renovation. All right. I mean, he did a few odds and end jobs for me in the past, but nothing really showing his range. Okay. So I had him put some flooring in, and I was going to have, I actually hired him to put some flooring in, and I was going to have him paint. He painted. He put the flooring in. His paint work was shoddy. I mean, he got paint down there everywhere. Didn't cut in. Didn't use any paint tape or, well, you know what I'm saying. Didn't tape it off, none of that. Just free-handed it. Not going to say it was a horrible job. I'm not going to do that. But I will say it was nowhere near professional, okay? He puts the flooring in, and the flooring starts buckling 2 days after he puts it in. He tries to blame me, everybody else but himself. And we have a conversation about it. First he has a conversation with my wife about it. That didn't go so well. He wanted to get cute, so I had to talk to him myself. And he guaranteed that he would come back, he would pay for the work, the materials, and he would fix the flooring. And that was the last time I heard from him. Can I give you a shout out? Hold on. Is it Gabby Fam 4567? Thank you. And hello, my friend. Thank you for joining me. Just sitting here talking about this project that we're doing. And I'm gone. Talking about this project that I'm doing, and then the nightmare was to find a good contractor. Okay, I got a nice little ride in front of me, and I thought y'all might enjoy this story. So it's just a preview of the live that I'm going to do, where I explain everything that's going on with this house once the house is finished. All right, thank you. If y'all are going, go on. So, anyway, guy ghosts me, and here's my thing. So I use my house as a interviewing part of the interview process when I'm looking for a contractor. Okay, not all the time, but if I'm comfortable with you, if I know you, which I had known this cat for a little over 2 years, man. I mean, talked to him on the phone. He did some work for me. You know, we sit down and have a few meals together. We talk about what my expectations were, and he just got too cocky. You know what I'm saying? Just got too cocky. He talked himself up so much that he couldn't walk the walk. And I will share his company name and all that, because like I said, I'm going with accountability and trust. And little buddy, all he had to do would be like, look, man, I can't do this type of flooring. I've never done this type of flooring before. Whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? All he had to do was do that. But now he wanted to be big dog, and I could do everything, and he messed it up. And when I called him out on it, He want to get the attitude and act like it's try to blame everybody else, like I'm an idiot. And then he ghosted me, and that's fine. I don't care. I ain't talked to him since October of last year. And I used to talk to him at least once a week. But it's all good. So I tried to interview another company because I had already done pretty much pushed everybody else to the side and was going to use this cat. Like I said, he ghosted me. Here I am sitting on his house. I'm like, okay. So I get a DM and then a phone call from two different individuals. One guy is like, hey man, I see you got a house, and I'm hoping that God will put me and you together one day where we can work together and blah blah blah. And then my property manager calls and he's like, look man, there's a guy that I know, you know, he does houses, this, that, and the other. If you need any help, give him a call. Okay, cool. I call him. We set up a meet and greet. He tells me, yeah, I've had some issues in the past, but they weren't big issues, and I corrected them. And some people felt like that I might have screwed them over, but I made it right, which is red flag 1 and 2. I'm just young, and I got a kid, and I'm just trying to do the best I can. Show me some of his work. Yeah, okay, some of his work is cool, you know. And I'm all right. I can give this cat a second chance, man. I mean, let's see what's going on. So I tried to interview a couple of other contractors. One never got back with me. Another one was worse than the one I was getting ready to hire. So I was just like, you know what? Let's go with this guy right here. And then in the beginning, they hit the ground running. I gave him a big lump sum up front so they can buy materials and stuff. So they did the outside of the house. They got in about, I'm no expert, but I'll say 90-95% of it. They got it done. And it is, hold on a minute here. It is 7 minutes after 2 out here. So they got 90% of the work done on the outside of the house, which I showed you all some of the work in some of my videos if you want to go back and look at them, some of my lives. But then work just abruptly stops. You know what the hell's going on? It just abruptly stops. Nobody's showing up to the site. He keeps saying, oh yeah, we're going to be out there tomorrow, and don't show up. Oh yeah, we're getting ready to do this, and don't do it. And I'm on the site almost every day. When I leave work, I head to the site, check progress. When I'm off, I get up, I go out to the site to see if there's anybody out there. I didn't see anybody. I didn't see any progress get done. I didn't see anything. So, you know, I'm starting to get frustrated because, you know, we got a timeline. And he's said he can get this done by December 20th. December 20th is approaching. I'm like, hey, you know, I want to get this thing on the market. How much time do we got left? I'm not an expert, but I can see that we got a lot to do. And during this time, he's done tore up the house so nobody can live in it. So I'm like, okay, all right, chill out. Give him a chance. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. It's hard to find anybody, but I found somebody, and I'm getting to that one. So anyway, me and this guy, we went back and forth for several weeks, leading into a month or so, and I think in that month's time, they laid some underlayment, they put in some cam lights, and primered the walls. And that was a light primer, all right. And that was pretty much it. That was the end of it. I would say they did about, we're going to say 12 hours worth of work in a month's time. So I called, which I should have done this to begin with, networking. Networking is a must, in my opinion, when you are trying to scale your business. Okay, networking is a must, and just so happens I had a few people in my network that I could call to see who they're using as far as general contractors go. And one of the reasons, I will say this, one of the reasons I did not call them in the beginning was because they dealt in high-end houses. We're talking about $350,000 to $500,000 homes that they were building. And I was like, I don't know if I can afford their crew. You know what I mean? But you got to pay for quality. Remember that. You have to pay for quality. You're going to pay for accountability. You're going to pay for trustworthiness. Or you're going to get what you pay for. It's going to be good or bad. Needless to say, I had to fire this other guy. And like I said, I will get into all of that. I'll be name dropping. I'll be doing a review. But the group that I got now, they're not stopped. They're moving so quickly and so efficiently, I can't keep up. That's a good thing. So that's where I'm headed now. I'm going to check this house out. And so far, the only thing that I've seen that didn't go too well with them, and I don't know what happened, was the paint color didn't end up being what we thought it was going to be, or what it should have been. All right, we went with an elephant gray, and about 90% of our projects, that's what we go with. And depending on how many coats you get that gets put on, it'll be light or dark, you know what I'm saying, or whatever it's covering. And but this one has turned out to be purple. I don't know if it was a primer they used or what, but yeah, it turned out to be purple. So let's see what we got here in the chat. Yeah, and I get that too. Some people do treat good workers like crap, man. I'm just the opposite, to be honest with you. I'm just the opposite. I try to treat people well, and I think they think, so far the people I've encountered, they take that as a weakness. I don't know why. I mean, what it is, enjoy it and do what you're supposed to do. Well, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate all of you. And yeah, I just had to get that one out. And that was just a summary of what a nightmare it's been to have to find a good contractor. And what's wild is the first guy that ghosted me, he was going to do all the work himself, and I was trying to, hey, you need some, no, I don't need any help. He was wanting all the money for himself, which is fine as long as he can get the work done in a certain time. But yeah, I think he realized that he bit off more than he could chew, and his pride wouldn't allow him to say that. So I'm glad that I got out of that situation before we even started. And then the other guy, he didn't even really have a crew. He was just hiring random people to do jobs. So he took the job and then he subcontracted the job. He hardly did anything. He did a little bit, but he hardly did anything. And then on top of that, I got to tell y'all this too. So we were going to replace the countertops, and before I could even say any more or get an idea of what countertops we need, he's done ripped out the old ones, and mysteriously the next day they disappeared. Somebody come up in the yard and stole them. I'm like, bullshit, those were good, excuse my language, but those were good countertops. And he took my countertops. And I got to go ahead and add that in also, because I'm talking to a lawyer. So, but anyway, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, I've been blessed to get with a contractor that has, him and his crew have been really great. Easy to work with, professional. They're just like anyone else trying to make a living. They just want to be paid. You know what I mean? So I do appreciate them. And I'm hoping that when I get a couple more projects and a couple more deals done, that they'll be able to help me. Well, thank you guys for listening to me. Seems like the further south I go, the less snow we have. It looks like there's melting away. Also, I will be having I'm in the middle of editing a video now, uh, all the before and after stuff. um, I think y'all are going to be amazed of the transformation of this house, man. I mean, and it wasn't a bad house before. It would have been a good rental, and if I could have afforded it, I would have held on to it as a rental. But having to do, well, I'm gonna say we could have rented it out without doing any renovations to it. It was move-in ready, but I decided to flip it because I didn't want any more rentals at this time, just for the simple fact that I've got enough on my plate. And I'm dealing with tenants and toilets. Woo! Rough. It can be rough. I've had some real good tenants, don't get me wrong. About 90-95% of them has really been good people. Easy to get along with, easy to work with. And of course, you got that 5 or 10% that just they're just not going to work with you. Some folks look to get something for nothing. So it's just what it is. It's just like solid ice down here. Look at people's yards, it looks like an ice skating rink. I don't know if y'all have made this ride. I don't know if anybody's out on here that's made this ride with me before. I've been out here several times since October. There is no snow, it's just ice. Well, I hope I didn't bore y'all with my little rant. But the moral of the story is you just got to beware. You got to beware. It's how can I put this? If there are red flags, just pay attention to them and move on. Patience is the key, you guys. And that is the truth. Patience. And I didn't have patience. I had been looking for a flip since the beginning of January 25. I didn't find one until August, or I didn't make a major, I didn't make a serious offer until August of 2025. I wanted to have one flip done before the end of 2025. So that left me with about 4 months to get everything done And I was looking at my time, my goals, and my timeline, and I let that cause me to make a brash decision. Okay, I wanted to get it done, so I got somebody I thought was good enough. And that's not good. You don't get good enough. You get great. And if that takes you a while to find, then it takes you a while to find. Learn from me, please. All right, guys, this is the point where I'm going to cut this off. I don't know if my contractor wants to be on film or not. So this is the part where I say, if everybody serves, everyone gets served. If everyone's a servant, everyone gets served, okay? So just remember that. And let's take care of one another. All right? Y'all be good. Love you guys.